What? That's called a burden of proof reversal fallacy.
Absolutely.
No, it's not.
Okay.
The proof is already presented.
No worries. It's not a burden of proof
Just
reversal
because you
fallacy.
can't accept it or you will not understand it, that is your ignorance. That is not falsification.
Let's just try that. Let's just try that on for size. We have to disprove these assertions, so this person claims. So unicorn farts power the sky. Prove me wrong.
We're not talking about unicorn farts. We're talking about
trying to make a claim that you now need to disprove, like you've said we need to. Disprove what I now state as fact. Proven scientifically valid fact.
It's not a fact.
Oh, really? Well, you've got to disprove that according to your standards. So off you go. Disprove unicorn farts. Go.
There is no such thing as unicorn.
You haven't disproved them. That's a hand wave dismissal. That's not disproving anything now, is it? That's just saying that's not real. Well, unicorn farts are real, because that's equally strong, me just saying they are.
Yeah, but there's no evidence.
You have nothing to back it.
You've got nothing to disprove it. Hello. You've got to go and disprove it now, not hand wave dismissal. This is your standard. Apparently, no. Rumper singing shoes. You see, I point out where a burden of proof reversal fallacy has been utilised, and then use the exact same standard against the opponent. In so doing, they go a little nuts, because they realise that when I put that on them and say, you now must disprove unicorn farts, they go, unicorn farts just a no, not real.
Because it's not a valid argument.
Oh, really? That's my point. Yeah? Burden of proof reversal fallacy? That's my point? Thank you for conceding. Well done.
You're taking something that's made up bullshit and trying to use it as something that it's not.
Yeah, that's precisely what you're doing, and then demanding that I disprove it. Yeah, we're of the same mind. It's nice that you're conceding
we have
so
scientific
much.
evidence.
You're too dumb to realise how I've led you and how you're continually affirming my point. Well done, though.
Well, you have scientific evidence.
No.
You have scientific evidence.
Yes,
scientific evidence of what?
Of space-time.
Oh, you do. Hold on, Nathan. Let me find it.
Measure from the ground.
What did they say?
To any satellite in orbit.
New science. Well, we're going to the scientific evidence. Wait one.
You can measure it on the ground.
It'll be
compare it with measurements in space.
Take a breath. Calm down.
That evidence has been presented since the 70s.
You can calm down.
We have
So I ask you again.
Okay, let's keep it just with a couple people here. Okay? Just sit back. Who am I speaking with? Hello? Hello?
Who is who?
Who is who? Okay, what's your name?
What is my name? Why do you need to know that?
Well, see, I just went and visited my therapist. They calmed me down. They gave me some electric shock therapy. I'm okay now. I'm going to calm down. I want to know who I'm conversing with.
I'll just say that my name is Jess.
Jess. Okay, Jess. You said
Jess.
you had some. Okay. Jess. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Oh, God. This is so painful.
I think you got a yes.
Okay. You claimed that you had scientific evidence of space-time. That is scientific evidence of Einstein's general theory of relativity. So scientific evidence, to have scientific evidence, it must have gone through the scientific method and validated by experiment. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off with the first step of the scientific method, and you're going to walk us through. Nathan's sharing my screen. The audience can see what you say. I'm going to write it down and make sure everything is exact. Okay? So I'm going to ask you a series of questions. And you have to give the answer to those. So the first step is natural phenomena observed, please.
Stars.
Okay, stars. Stars, are they doing anything, or is it just stars?
As they move across the sky.
Stars as they move across the sky. Okay, that's your answer. So stars move across the sky is the natural phenomenon.
That's you saying what's observed. The stars.
The natural phenomena observed now becomes your dependent variable. That means your effect. Okay?
No, not the effect.
That's what the observed phenomena is in the scientific method.
What you're observing that's natural are the stars and the light that they emit.
Okay. You said stars as they move across the sky. I wrote that down. And that becomes the dependent variable, the effect.
No, because you haven't hypothesized what is causing certain effects.
That's what we're doing now.
That you're seeing.
That's what we're doing now. What we're doing is formulating a hypothesis. That's precisely what we're doing.
Okay. So what is the independent variable for your dependent variable of stars as they move across the sky?
You want to measure the light to determine distance.
So measure the light is your independent variable. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So sorry, just before you go on, John. Sorry. Measure the light. How is that? How is that an independent variable?
Because you're measuring it across different spectrum. You don't know how the light spectrum works?
No. An independent variable is something that you will vary and manipulate to cause the effect. Not measure. A measurement's not going to cause anything.
You can measure its...
Don't tell me what we can measure. Just listen to the words I use. Just
listen
to the words I use. That means shut up. Just listen to the words I use. A measurement will not cause anything ever. Okay?
A measurement will not anything. What the hell does that mean?
A measurement will not cause anything to happen ever.
You're using the light spectrum to determine the distance to get a measurement.
I'm sorry, excuse me. I thought we were proving the general theory of relativity.
Yeah, and you can prove it that it bends around other forms of light.
Can we summarize thus far? Can you let me summarize what we have thus far?
Yeah, I mean, you're asking me as an individual. I'm not an astrophysicist.
You claim that you had scientific evidence, and we wanted you to support that claim.
There's hundreds of years.
Excuse me. He asked you if he would have permission. Excuse me. He asked permission, kindly, calmly, to take through what we have established so far from you. Not to get the first sentence out and then immediately have you tell us what pseudoscience astrophysicists say. So please, with sugar on top, pretty please, with sugar on top, will you shut your mouth and let him respond based on what you have said thus far? Thank you.
You're the one talking, so you shut up.
That means please be quiet. He asked you politely and kindly and calmly. Then you've just decided to interrupt him. Now I'm telling you, please, can you stop doing that? And do not interrupt his response and summary of what you have said so far. Thank you.
Is it okay if I summarize?
I don't care what you do.
Okay, the natural phenomena observed you gave us was stars as they move across the sky. That is your dependent variable. I asked you what the independent variable was. You said measure the light. Therefore, your hypothesis must be measuring the light causes stars to move across the sky.
No, I did not say that.
Sorry, excuse me.
I mean,
sorry, John, bear with me.
With people
Excuse
like
me,
you.
excuse me,
So
excuse me, excuse me. You've just declared that's not what you said. He wrote down. Excuse me, excuse me. I know this is troubling. I appreciate this is troubling for you. Please, can you stop interrupting me? Thank you. With sugar on top. I'm talking. You did say those words. He wrote down what you said as you said them, and then read them back and confirmed they were what you said. Then he's read them again now, verbatim. It is exactly what you said. Excuse me, I was still in the middle of a sentence. Excuse me, triggered globehead. I'm in the middle of talking. I understand this is troubling and distressing for you. The humiliation based on the nonsense you have actually said. Yeah, at this point, what I will now do, whoever you are, next time you interrupt me is I will explain the necessity to quieten down this person by means of muting your line. Because unfortunately it seems that when I point out that you are in fact a liar, your declaration that these were not your words is false and inaccurate, and they were absolutely the words you used. Misquoted. That's where I use my mute button, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm pointing out for the third attempt that her lie, his lie, whatever this voice-changing idiot is using, that this is not his or her words, is a lie. But therefore, whoever this person is has decided that that information will not get dedicated to air. They will interrupt incessantly while we point out for the fourth time now, uninterrupted, that these are your words. They're just nonsense.
You think that misrepresenting someone's words is...
Yeah, shut him up again. I'll say it for the fifth time. We are not misrepresenting your words. We are repeating back verbatim what you said and Quantum Eraser wrote down. Again, for the audience's benefit, I will point out that during this statement, the guest has talked indefinitely over the top of me. It hasn't reached the audience because I've had to take measures. Just for anybody that claims that it's unnecessary muting when somebody's continually interrupting and claiming, lying, that we have misrepresented their words. Lie number 2, we have not misrepresented this person's words. They've been written down as stated and then read back verbatim. They're just bollocks. And it's humiliating to that person.
No.
When it's there she goes, he goes again. Let's close the line down again. It is humiliating. That is why this person is so triggered. To declare they have scientific evidence, proof of space-time, and then get asked to qualify their quoted, not made up or misrepresented, scientific evidence of Einstein's theory of relativity and the medium of space-time. We wrote down this, let's call it what it is, utter horseshit, that you said verbatim, and then read it back to you, only for you to get totally triggered and tell us that we're misrepresenting you. No, you're just a retard.
Because you are. Because you are. Because I never said that the light, stars moving across the sky was caused by measuring the light from the stars. I never said that. So stop lying.
I think what we have here is someone who doesn't understand independent and dependent variables.
No worries.
Exactly. Thank you, Chocolate.
Yeah, we went through it with you. And while we went through it with you, the thing is, whoever you are, it was written down as you said it and recorded both visually and auditory while you said it.
But
so while you keep talking over me as I point this out now for the 6th time, the words that were written down that came out of your mouth were written down on screen for an audience to see and have not been altered in any way. It is most obvious to everybody watching and listening that you're a liar and that you keep lying.
I never said that.
Yeah, you did. We wrote it down. I'll say it for the 7th time for this liar.
No, Nathan, hold on a second. what the problem is like Chocolate said, she doesn't, or he, I don't know, doesn't understand what the independent and dependent variable are and how they combine in the hypothesis. No, she or he never said this hypothesis statement. You're correct. However, the substance of what you said combines to form the hypothesis. You don't need to say it. It's implied heavily. It must be this. By the basis
I didn't
of
even
the
get into
independent
any details at all.
and dependent
And
variable.
for y'all to sit there and
Sorry,
imply that I'm...
No worries. We asked her for the details. That's why we said, can you give us what you observed as your phenomena? Step one. John took great cares to make sure you understood what we were asking you for. And I explained that this was a hypothesis that we were formulating. So we had specific questions about specific parts of science as claimed by you.
When I asked you for any scientific evidence that supports anything that you believe.
So we're not making a positive
Do you know
claim.
what the scientific method is?
Hold on, Chocolate. We're not making a positive claim. You made a claim that space-time was scientifically valid. That's why we are putting your claim of science through the scientific method. So to just declare that we haven't backed anything, we're not making any claim here. You are.
No.
Oh, just hand wave dismiss the fact that you claimed that you've got scientific validity to space-time.
Stupid liar.
Yes.
Just liar. Pants on fire.
Hundreds of years of it.
Yeah, you did claim that. We wrote down your
You
claim and then took it through the method.
are lying. The first thing you said when you came in here was that there is scientific evidence for space-time. First sentence you said when you spoke up. So how are you playing yourself right now?
Just said it again. There is. We just wrote down your scientific evidence and it didn't come to fruition. It formulated into this absolute train wreck on screen based on the words you said.
Nathan, why don't you just go through it again?
Because it's on screen, because the audience knows we've already gone through it. The fact that she can't see it and denies that it's her words and talks over the top when it's pointed out that they are her words, they were in answer to very specific questions. She'll just talk all over everything I say, because it's humiliating.
So again, you're still deflecting to avoid the question that was asked of you.
We asked you the questions. We asked you what your observed phenomena was. The reason we asked was because you made a declaration that space-time was scientifically valid. That's where we came to this conclusion that you formulated a train wreck and that you don't have scientific validity for space-time.
There is scientific validity for it.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that. When we asked you to give us it, this is what we got. It's on screen now based on what you told us. So this has now become a circle jerk with you taking us back to your original assertion that you've not proven. Hello?
Do you want every time that Einstein's theory has been proven?
Einstein's theory? Scientific theory based on systematic experimentation? No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Yes. No, it isn't. If you had any validity to your science, you'd have given it us. There isn't any. There's no scientific theory developed by Einstein.
Again, the fact that you are on the internet right now proves Einstein.
A non sequitur. That's called a non sequitur fallacy. So me being on the internet proves unicorn farts. Disprove that right now.
You don't have to disprove it, just prove something more valid.
No, disprove.
No,
I'm gonna reverse the burden of proof like this person did.
Because Nathan cannot answer a question directed at him.
Marion Whitehall.
Again, show me one piece of scientifically accepted fact that supports a flat Earth. Where is it?
Supports a flat Earth. A flat Earth is not an observed phenomena. You don't need to science this.
And you believe it, even though it's not science.
Did you hear what I just said? You're going to address what I just said.
Pseudoscience.
It's just not going to acknowledge anything I say. So she's asked me specifically, or he has laid down a specific challenge which I've addressed, and literally it didn't even get an acknowledgement. What did I just say when asked to provide scientific validity to flat Earth? What was my answer? Hearing problems?
So where's the answer?
Hearing problems, maybe?
We're talking over each other. We're both talking at the same time all the time, pretty much.
Where's the answer, Nathan?
Yeah, I gave it. I'm asking you to repeat it. I gave it. Didn't you hear me? Problems with your hearing? Problems with shutting your mouth when other people talk, maybe?
Evidence.
Like now, you can't keep your mouth shut when other people are telling you the answer you've asked for. Maybe you want to ask me again and then shut up afterwards.
Because you can't answer the question.
I have answered the question.
You don't have
I have answered the question. You just ignored
None of you
me.
flat-tards have the answer.
Do you want me to answer you again, or will you talk all over that?
You didn't answer.
Yeah, I'm asking you if you want it again. I'm asking if you want a repetition of what's been dedicated to the recording. I have answered you. Yeah? You just didn't hear me because you didn't shut your mouth while I answered, and then you completely ignored what I said.
Zanuck, we can hear you typing.
Sorry.
So do you want me to repeat it?
Go ahead.
So, flat Earth is not a phenomena. You're not talking about an effect of flat Earth. That's not an effect. This isn't a valid scientific inquiry. So asking me to produce scientific evidence for something... Oh, you're going to start talking again? Yeah, it's a malformed question based on your ignorance of what science is, clearly.
Religious zealot.
So you have no evidence to support your denial of gravity. You have no evidence to support any...
No evidence to support my denial of gravity. That's another burden of proof reversal fallacy. Do you have any positive scientific evidence of gravity for me to rebut? Or is it just that you're going to reverse the burden of proof and say that I've got to disprove something that you haven't proven? Another logical fallacy.
Proven already.
You've proven it. Oh, excellent. Let's start again, John. Can you?
Okay,
you've got your screen up. Excellent. Scientific proof of gravity.
Yeah,
Go. Excellent. What's the observed phenomenon?
You can get.
Listen up.
Physics book.
Listen. We're going to ask you the same series of questions we asked when you last humiliated yourself. You've made another positive claim.
Physics for dummies.
Oh, she's going to talk all over me. So let's close that line and make it clear what's happening. There is a positive assertion from this individual, which will later get denied and then reasserted 5 minutes later, that there is scientific evidence of gravity.
Again,
now we're asking you, while she interrupts me continually, to actually back your fundamentalist religious assertion that you've asked with the burden of proof reversal fallacy for me to disprove. We want you to actually provide positive support.
That's how science works.
Yeah, it's still talking all over me. Provide positive support for your assertion that you've got scientific evidence of gravity, rather than talk over me indefinitely when we actually ask you to back your claim, which is what you're doing. Your little rumpusing tactic is just getting highlighted to the audience while you talk over me, rather than it evading me being able to be heard.
You sit there and you talk about science, and you don't have a fucking clue about it.
Oh, it's time to remove this person from this conversation, because they're very triggered after multiple humiliations.
You haven't humiliated
You're being
anyone.
I was just going to ask this
Didn't
person,
you hear?
do they even understand the scientific method? 'Cause talking a lot about science, but...
Yeah.
I think she's back to Narnia.
You think these people would understand what science is when we say we'd like scientific evidence and they say there is some, and then we go, give it us then. Rumpus, 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 rumpus. And with that, unless there's anything else, I won't do my rounding out. I was about to, but don't want anyone telling me off that they had some important issue that they needed to address.
Yeah, bulkheads are getting triggered all over the flat plane because other people are realizing the lie.
And with that, I'll say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who tuned in on the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Another massive thank you to all of today's debating panel for making this live and after show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!